Good. Welcome to the second progress test. Yeah. See, this is the comprehension. Read the article and mark the sentences true, false, or DS mean doesn't say. Yeah. So
Yes.
if you can't find that such information in the article, don't try to decide whether they are true or false. Maybe it doesn't say. Okay. So are you clear?
Yes.
Yeah. Now, can you read this article?
Yes. Mountain climbers recused by text message. Two British, two British climbers were recused yesterday after sending an SOS text message to a friend in London. Rachel Kelsey, 34, and her partner uh, J- Jamie Colenso, 33, who are both experienced climbers, were on a climbing holiday last week in Swe- Switzerland. Switzerland. Switzerland.
Switzerland.
But on Saturday night, when they were 3,000 meters up in the mountains, there was a terrible storm. The winds were incredibly strong and the snow was 2 meters deep. They couldn't move and they had to spend the night on the mountain. Rachel had her mobile phone with her, so she sent a text message to five friends in the UK asking for help. About two about two about 2 hours later, one of her friends, Avery Clive in London, replied with a text message. Uh, Avery said, "I don't usually have my mobile phone in the bedroom. At about 4 a.m., I woke up and saw Rachel's message. I found the phone number of the police in Switzerland and phoned them. They contacted the mountains rescue team." But the weather was so bad that helicopter couldn't get to the two uh, climbers. The rescue team sent a text message to Rachel and Jimmy telling them that they had to spend a second night on the mountains. The message said, "So sorry, Rachel, we tried. Wind too strong. Have to wait till morning. Take care. Be strong." Rachel says, "I thought we were going to die. It was freezing, minus 15 temperatures and really windy on the mountains. We spent the night taking and planned a holiday in the sun." Next morning, storm passed and the helicopter arrived to take them off the mountain. Avery says, when I heard that Rachel and Jamie were safe, I was dancing around my flat." Rachel said Darcy and Jamie were now looking forward to a hot bath and a good meal. But first, they were going to buy the rescue team a bottle of whiskey.
I just hide it from you.
Uh-huh.
Now let's see how you can remember. Now, Rachel and Jeremy were climbing for the first time. True, false, or doesn't say.
Mm,
True, false, or doesn't
uh,
say.
Fall
False.
because they are, yes, both experienced climbing.
They couldn't go down the mountain because of bad weather.
Yes,
True.
true.
You know,
Strong.
if you take the IELTS test, we have
Yes.
some exercises like true, false, not given, or yes, no, not given. Yeah, two different kinds of exercises. Yeah, true, false, not given, and the
True,
other
false.
is yes,
Yes,
no, not given. Yeah, and
yes, not given.
if you want to say it's true but you write yes, you lose your point. Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. But now here it's not the IELTS test, so you said yes.
Yes.
I know you mean true, right? Yeah,
Yes.
yes means true. Yeah, but in the IELTS test,
Me
the
too.
situation is very different. Avery
Yes.
was sleeping when Rachel's message came.
Yes.
It's true,
True.
right? Yeah, true.
True.
He called the mountain rescue team in Switzerland.
He is mean.
Avery?
No, he message.
No, no, means false.
Yes. I thought it's false.
False. Or do you need me to turn back to the article?
Yes, please. He's
So Rachel sent a text message to her friends.
to have friends. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
They contacted the mountain rescue team.
I found the number of the police.
The police.
And phoned them.
Yes.
So it's true or false or not, or doesn't say.
I think it's false.
False. Why?
Because the people called the mountains rescue team is not Rachel. Is how to say one of her friends.
But in this sentence, just say he. He.
True.
True. True.
Yes. I changed my mind.
Yeah, true. Rachel's other four friends didn't reply. True, false, doesn't say.
Doesn't say.
Doesn't say. The helicopter couldn't rescue them immediately.
True.
True. Rachel and Jeremy spent 3 nights on the mountain.
No. 2 nights.
2 nights. False.
False. Yes.
They wanted to buy Avery a bottle of whiskey.
No. They want to go hot bath.
Actually, they wanted to buy a bottle of whiskey for the rescue team.
Rescue. Yeah, rescue team. Yes.
False. True. False. False. So this is also false.
True, right?
Yeah, but we just decide. We just decided to choose true. But the answer from the R&D is false.
No.
Let's say true, false. This is false. He called the mountain rescue team in Switzerland. Let's see.
He is mean.
Avery?
Ooh,
He mean Avery, right?
Avery?
I think so.
Rachel.
Rachel, of
Um,
course, Rachel is the female name, right?
yes. Actually, I don't know who is female and who is male.
Just based on my knowledge. Oh, police in Switzerland. They contacted the mountain.
Avery. Avery.
So the police in Switzerland, they contacted, and then the police contacted the
Police
mountain.
contacted mountain.
Ah, yeah, got it. Got it.
Got it.
Now we listen and circle the correct answer. 2.21. Test 3. 2.21. Ready?
Yes, ready.
2.21. 1.
Where did you go on holiday?
Well, we booked tickets to go to Spain, but then I got a new job and we couldn't go.
Oh, what a pity.
Well, we went to Scotland for a weekend. That was nice. And we're going to go to Portugal for a week at Christmas.
2.
Did you have good weather in Italy?
Well, it was good for December. It was cold but sunny.
Did it rain?
No, it didn't. It was dry.
3.
Where did you take this photo of Tom Cruise?
It was in New York. I was coming into the hotel and I saw him coming down the stairs. There were a lot of journalists waiting in reception. Everybody was shouting, so I went outside and I waited until he was getting into his car.
4.
What's your favourite photo?
This one, I think. I really like this photo because it's not the usual way you see a top model. She was waiting with the other girls for the fashion show to begin. The other girls were all talking, but she was just quietly reading a book.
It's a great photo.
5.
They made what we all thought was their last album in 2001, and they did a world tour the same year. Everybody said that that was the end, but suddenly they made another album, their last one, the next year.
Do you need a second time?
Yes, I got my answer.
That means don't. That means you don't need the
I
second
can
time.
hear. Yeah. Yes,
Oh,
maybe.
all right. Now number 1, A, B, C.
Number 1, B,
B.
Scotland. Yes.
Number 2.
Number 2 is sunny. It was sunny.
3.
Number 3 is in the streets.
In the street. 4.
Number 4, reading. B.
The last one.
I'm not sure, but maybe 2002.
2002.
The last one.
Yeah.
The next year, maybe
Yeah.
2008.
This is the
2.
year I was not the only child of my parents anymore. Become a sister.
Become a sister.
Yeah, all of the correct answer. All the correct answer.
Okay.
So listen to the story in mother sentences true false.
Yes.
Yeah. So you have time looking through all of the all of the sentences here. So
Yes.
2 important to copy. Ready?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm ready.
2.22.
Anna, tell Jane about what happened to you that time.
Well, I was driving home from work. It was a Friday evening, about 5:30. It was winter, and the weather was horrible. It was pouring with rain. I live in the country, and to get to my house, you have to go along a road where there are a lot of trees and very little traffic. Suddenly, I saw a car stopped in the middle of the road, and there was a man standing there waving his arms. He wanted me to stop.
So, did you stop?
I didn't know what to do. But in the end, I stopped and got out of my car and said, "What's the problem?" Then suddenly, another man ran from behind a tree and got into my car and drove away.
Oh no.
And then the first man got back into his car and drove away too. So I was just left standing there in the rain with no car.
What did you do?
Luckily, I had my mobile and I rang my friend Pete and he came and found me.
Need the second time.
Yes. I need a second time.
2.22.
Anna, tell Jane about what happened to you that time.
Well, I was driving home from work. It was a Friday evening, about 5:30. It was winter, and the weather was horrible. It was pouring with rain. I live in the country, and to get to my house, you have to go along a road where there are a lot of trees and very little traffic. Suddenly, I saw a car stopped in the middle of the road, and there was a man standing there waving his arms. He wanted me to stop.
So, did you stop?
I didn't know what to do. But in the end, I stopped and got out of my car and said, "What's the problem?" Then suddenly, another man ran from behind a tree and got into my car and drove away.
Oh no.
And then the first man got back into his car and drove away too. So I was just left standing there in the rain with no car.
What did you do?
Luckily, I had my mobile and I rang my friend Pete and he came and found me.
Interesting story. A. True or
Yes.
false? Yes.
A false.
False. Why? So,
Yeah.
what did you hear?
Because he or she driving home from work.
Yes, exactly.
It means
Means she was driving home, not driving to work.
yes,
It was raining. True or false?
true.
True. She saw a man in the road asking her to stop.
True.
True. The two men drove away in her car.
False.
False. So, what happened?
Yes, man. One man behind the trees ran to her car and drove away. Just one man. Yes.
The other man back to his car and ran
Back
away.
Yes. Yes.
She rang the police on her mobile.
False.
False. Who did she phone?
She phoned for her friend.
She phoned her
Found
friend.
her. Yes.
Phone true, false, false. Excellent. Can you talk about your last holiday? So, do you need time to repair? Do you need time to repair? Yeah.
About my last holiday is the same in the period lesson.
Yeah.
It's full
Yeah. And
yeah.
yeah, of course. But this is the test. That means maybe
Yes.
another story already. But just try to show that you can talk fluently
Yes.
and accurately. So again, what test are you going to use in this talk?
Yes.
What tense?
Past simple tense.
Past simple tense. Okay. Yeah. Past
Yes.
simple tense. Yeah.
So I will talk about my last holiday. My last holiday were with my company is were company trip to Phu Quoc Islands. We went to Phu Quoc Islands by plane, and we stayed here for 2 nights, 3 days, 3 days, 2 nights. Yes, 2 days, 3 days, 2 nights. The weathers were amazing. It was sunny and windy. We when we were in Phú Quốc, we went to Bãi Sau Beach and some restaurant in the mountains. Went to some restaurant and coffee in the mountains. The weather were very good, but the price a little bit were a little bit high than Hanoi, so I were disappointed about that because the quality of food is were not good. But the beach in Phú Quốc were beautiful. But unfortunately, it were my period day, so I couldn't swim and jump into pool. And after 3 days, we went back to Hanoi, and Hanoi welcome us with big rains. Yes, it's about my holiday. Yes.
Can you talk about your favorite photo?
Favorite photos. My favorite photo is my family photos. It was taken when I were 40 or 50 years old. When I were when I was secondary school. At that time, my mother and my father were working on working trước sân là cái gì ta? Working in the garden, and me and my brothers were were cooking in the kitchen. So some photographer passed by near drove by near my house and asked my parents that do you want to take family pictures? So my parents said, okay, let's take a photo. So he came to my house and take my family photos. And after 2 weeks, he came back and take a photo for my family. But at that time, my parents didn't have money much. So my mother sells one dog for my neighborhood to take to took money to pay for the picture. And yes. and I really love that photo. But when I look at that photo, a little bit sad because I felt very sorry about my dog. Yes,
Yeah. So
yeah, that's all.
yeah, that's all. Alright.